We will now begin our post-race media availability for today's Bojangles Southern 500. We are joined by the runner-up of today's race, Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 4 Busch Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. Kevin, great car this evening. Led a lot of laps here. Has to be very frustrating to be in this position, but could you walk us through how that unfolded from your position?
Yeah, we had a great car. The guys in the garage and at the shop continue to do a great job, and we continue to give it away on pit road. So pretty much summed up the night. Just the dominant car and just three bad pit stops on pit road.
Yeah, we'll open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start here on the right with Mark Garrow.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Kevin, I know you're frustrated, but how do you fix these things this late in the season? What can you do?
Yeah, I really don't know. We have championship cars, and we're just mediocre on pit road. So it's kind of been that way for a few years, and they moved some things around, but it's just seems like it's just week after week after week. You have a couple of good weeks here and there, and every once in a while you put together a day, but they just can't put together a whole day on pit road right now.
How do you balance trying to be a cheerleader and at the same time trying to let them know?
I'm over being a cheerleader. At this point, it's all those guys get paid a lot of money to perform on pit road. And cheerleading hadn't really been working. So you gotta get after it on pit road and do your job.
Additional questions for Kevin? Kevin, thanks for taking. Oh, we'll go here to Scott.
Scott Chains for the Florence Morning News. It's a possibility. Would you consider switching pit crews, or is it too late in the season to do that?
We're going to continue on with today's post-race media availability for the Bojangles Southern 500. We're joined by third-place finisher Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Target Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Kyle, fantastic run out there tonight following your win last week at Michigan. Just describe what it was like for you, particularly on that final restart where it looked like you were taking some chances to try to gun your way up front.
Yeah, I got a decent restart there on that last one. Probably cleared myself, could have cleared myself up in front of Kevin through the middle 1 and 2, but yeah, I left in that lane and kind of pinched myself down a little bit and didn't get a good enough run down the backstretch as I needed. And then he was on my back bumper, and I didn't really know what to do into 3. And I thought if I went to the bottom, I could kind of hold my own to exit, but Kevin nailed 3 and 4 and was able to squeeze around me and get back to second. So ended up third, but it was a tough race. We had to work on our Target Chevy quite a bit there. Early in the night, when the sun was out, it drove totally different. I could feel as the sun was going down, I could feel my car change. I was getting a little bit looser and had to keep up with that. But we made some good adjustments. Our short run speed was really good, especially out front. I struggled on the long runs of getting loose off. I was trying to take care of my rear tires as much as I could, but it seemed like nothing I did would help me on the long run. So that was frustrating. But all in all, it was good to be a contender. 2 weeks in a row. Thought maybe there was some things that could have gone our way to maybe get the win, but we'll still take a third. That's build on our momentum leading up to the chase, and hopefully have a good first round of that.
How much fun was it though to be out here tonight? We had a great crowd in the stands, everybody dressing up in the NASCAR throwback tradition. How fun was that for you?
Yeah, this is such a fun weekend, with the throwback stuff, but this racetrack itself just feels like it doesn't even have to be a throwback weekend. It just feels like it already is when you come here. You got the small town. The racetrack is right on that road right over there. Grandstand's kind of back up to it. It just feels really old school. The red and white painted walls is awesome. Every racetrack I feel like should have red and white walls like that. But then you do all the old paint schemes and crew guys dressing up and all that. It's really cool. It's great for our sport. I think it gets a lot of eyes on this weekend, and what a great track to do that.
Yeah, we'll open the floor up to questions. If you have a question for Kyle, we'll get a wireless mic to you. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Good deal. Well, Kyle, we
Sweet.
appreciate you taking your time. Good luck next week. If I could have your attention here in the media center, we'll continue on with our media availability for tonight's Bojangles Southern 500. We are joined by crew chief Cole Pearn and Furniture Row Racing GM Joe Garone with the number 78 Auto Owners Insurance Chevrolet for Furniture Row Racing. That's right. I'm sorry, Toyota. Yes. Thanks for reminding me of that, Joe. But Cole, could you talk to me about this win? You were here with the race team when it got its first win here at the Southern 500. How sweet is this victory tonight?
Yeah, and honestly, I had somewhat of a similar feel. I thought no way we'd win. The one we won 5 years ago, and I thought midway through the race there was no way we were going to win tonight. So, we just kept plugging away on it, and we had one run in the middle of the race where we kind of made some more aggressive adjustments and took off, and we weren't very good. And it was kind of like, oh no, kind of the wheels were going to fall off. But it started to come around in that run, and we just we got really good and kind of gained a direction to work, and then. Just as the race went, it just got better and better. We get better track position. The pit crew just did an unbelievable job. We just had the night we needed. We haven't had a lot of fast cars here lately, but just haven't really had the night, go all our way. So it was nice to have it go the way. And then the best car was the last run of the race, and luckily we were able to drive and get it done.
Joe, that number 78 Toyota has been a dominant car this season, and what's it like now to see that dominance pay off with getting multiple wins?
Well, it's great. It's been a rough season, but it's hard to have speed. And Cole and the guys, they've been bringing speed in the cars just every weekend. And we've had a flurry of either it's mistakes that we've made or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and where it's all come together finally. Especially where we're at, getting ready to go into the chase here shortly. It's just perfect timing.
Deal. We'll open the floor for questions. If you have a question for either of these gentlemen, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start with Bob, and then we'll go upstairs to the press box.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Cole, a lot of people would say that winning the Coke 600, winning here in Darlington would make a great season. Does it make a great season, or does your season defined by what happens starting at Chicago in a couple weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we still got 11 races left, and we got Richmond next week, and then into Chicago. So it's a lot of work and a long way to go. We've prepped all this year to try and make it to Homestead again and win the championship. So that's definitely the goal. But to win 2 crown jewel races like this in one season is something you'll never forget for sure. Regardless of what's happened. So you gotta take the highs when they're here, and then get back to work and be ready to give it hard the rest of the season.
Okay, we'll go upstairs to the press box for a question.
No, and he's not allowed to come here anymore.
Additional questions downstairs. We'll go back to your left to Mike Neff.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com for Cole. The 78 seems to have a lot of speed on intermediate tracks for sure. And with the predominance of intermediate tracks in the chase, does that give you an even greater feeling of confidence going into that final 10-race stretch, or is it all a matter of the fluidity of this sport can change at any minute?
Yeah, I mean, it for sure can change any minute, but they are. I mean, we have a lot of great tracks that we ran really good on earlier in the year that are in the chase, and we kind of the same thing happened to us last year. We ran really good at those tracks early in the season, so we feel like we got a real good understanding of what we need to do there. So, but at the end of the day, that's why you still have to run the race, and you never know what's going to happen. But definitely gives you confidence to know you know what you need to do, and the direction you need to work. So I'm really hopeful that plays to our strength.
Any additional questions downstairs? Let's go back to Bob.
Cole, do you feel at all for the 4-team? I mean, you guys have had pit crew stuff and things happen to you this year. Is there any? Can you kind of tell us kind of what they're going through right now?
Yeah, I feel like they're the only thing, my only sanity check. So I'm like, well, at least it happens to them too, you know. So it's, I feel bad for them for sure. I mean, it's not easy. They had a great car again tonight, you know, to have the issues they had. But I don't know. I mean, it's a team sport, you know. Like it or not, you can have one side of the team doing great and the other side struggle. And you know, that's where I was so happy for our pit crew tonight. You know, we got to make so many pit stops here, and it was just a perfect night for them to get in a rhythm. And you know, I really credit a lot of the win to them. So,
additional questions? Go back there.
Hey, Cole, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. At one point, Martin was screaming over the radio about he's loose, he's tight, he's horrible, everything's gone to hell. How do you kind of regroup in the middle of that and come back and get everybody calmed down and win?
I don't know. You just shake your head. I mean, that was the oddest thing ever because the run he was screaming like that. It was 5 laps later. We were the fastest car on the track, so I don't really know. So we had planned overhaul changes, and then we threw them all out the window and didn't really touch it after that. So it's just I think it's just a product of these rules. I mean, you know, the cars are on edge, and then this track is just really difficult to get a hold of. It's low grip, so you know, you find all of a sudden you find a groove that you know suits your car better, and then you get to running good again. So it's really fun. I mean, all weekend, you know, you're really you know, you're having to, you know, think outside the box, you know, maybe more so than the typical intermediates because you got asymmetric corners and low grip and bumps. You know, it's got really all the elements to really make you work on the race car.
Any additional questions? Well, gentlemen, congratulations on grabbing another Southern 500 win, and good luck next week in Richmond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will continue on with tonight's post-race media availability for the 67th annual Bojangles Southern 500. And we are joined now by today's race winner, Martin Truex Jr., driver of the number 78 Auto Owners Insurance Toyota for Furniture Row Racing. This is Martin's 5th victory in 394 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series races. It's his 2nd win and 11th top 10 finish in 2016. And one of the coolest stats I can read off, this is his first multi-win season of your career. Congratulations on making it to victory lane again here in the Southern 500.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been quite a weekend, quite a night. So, you know, it's amazing to win a race like this. I mean, the Southern 500 is just, you know, it's one of the ones everybody wants to win. And, you know, coming in here this week, I knew we'd have a shot at it just based off the way we've been running, you know, this season. But, you know, to finally get it done and bring home the victory and go to victory lane here, it was a pretty amazing feeling. So really, really proud of my team, obviously, for all they do for me. And just can't believe we won here at Darlington. It's awesome.
Good deal. We're going to open the floor to questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll start with Pete.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Martin, when it looked like you guys were biding your time for quite a while there, did you think you'd have enough for Kevin, or did you think that, you know,
I was ahead of
eventually
Kevin.
come around? Huh?
I was ahead of Kevin.
No, I mean, Kevin was out in front for such a.
I don't know.
So many long.
You know, at that point in time, honestly, we weren't all that great. You know, our car was. You know, we were probably, I don't know, we ran 3rd or 4th to maybe 7th or 8th all night long, you know, in there, and just, you know, we never could get it quite right, and it was always too tight or too loose or too tight or too loose, and I think it was about 80 or 90 to go, we made an adjustment that just woke the thing up, and after that it was, you know, it's pretty good, and then we made it even better on the last stop, so just worked hard on it all night, honestly. I mean, you know, I can't believe, with 100 to go, I thought there's no way we can win this race. You know, we're going to run, you know, we might run top 5, but, you know, we just, we kept digging. We never gave up on it, and guys made good adjustments. Pit crew stepped up and, you know, got us the lead there at the end, and we were able to hold on to it. So just proud of that effort. And, you know, it's funny. We've had the best car in a lot of races and not one. And tonight, for the most part of the race, we didn't have the best car. So it's definitely a sweet feeling to come to victory lane and be able to overcome that and make our car the best that we could at the end of the race and ultimately get the job done.
Okay, we'll stay in the middle and go to Bob, and then over to the left of Mike.
Bob Hocker, ESPN. A lot of people would say win at Charlotte, big Memorial Day race, win here, and that's a great season.
Yeah.
Would you consider this a great season no matter what happens the next 11 weeks?
It's been a good season. It's got potential to be a really great season. I think that, based on the team we have and the way we've been running, I mean, we could honestly be sitting here with 7, 8, 9 wins if things had gone a little different here and there. But with that being said, we've got 2, and I really feel like we've got a legitimate shot at this championship. So it's been a good season, but it definitely could be a great season. And until Homestead's done and gone, we won't know. So looking forward to that opportunity to work with this team and try to go after our first championship. We had a shot at it last year and didn't really have the performance at the end of the season that we needed in our race cars. And I feel like this year, with the speed we've had in our Toyotas, that we can go to Homestead and really have a shot at this thing. So definitely focused on the chase starting, and hopefully be able to put those results together and make it to that Final Four again.
We'll go to your left, the Mike, and then over to your right, the Wendell.
Mike Nutt from FrontStretch.com. Martin, the switch over to Joe Gibbs' affiliation this year, can you just speak to how you feel that has changed or improved the performance at Furniture Row?
Well, I mean, we have 4 guys that we can lean on, 4 teams that consistently win races. They have 2 champions over there driving those cars, and a couple other guys that could easily win one, or probably will at some point in their career. And just to work with everybody they have there in general. I mean, you look at the performance of that camp for the past 10 years; they're always up front, and it's been really, really neat for them to welcome us into their organization, to trust us, and be willing to share their secrets and have that trust in us that we can bring enough to the table to on certain days help them as well. So it's been a great partnership so far. It got up to speed, and all the parts and pieces, and traveling back and forth to Denver to North Carolina and all that. The trust in one another, the relationships between the crew chiefs, the engineers, all that stuff really progressed so quickly, and I didn't anticipate it going as well as it did. So I've got to give a lot of credit to Coach Gibbs, to Barney Visser, to Dave Wilson, Andy Graves, everybody at TRD for just putting all those guys together and saying, hey, here's 2 great teams, let's put them together and make one really great team. And I've been the benefactor of that, so I couldn't be more thankful, obviously. And it's been fun to work with all those guys this year, and we share setups and we share everything. So that works well. And when one of us is having a bad weekend, will put in somebody else's setup and go to the races. So it's been a good relationship. It's worked well for us, and it's one I think that. It's one of the big reasons why all 5 of our cars have been so competitive and have won multiple races.
We're going to go to your right, the Wendell, and then we'll go back to Deb.
Hi, Martin Wendell, Turner with Community Broadcasters. Indy has this tradition with kissing the bricks. You started a tradition here going back to the finish line there?
I just had to.
Hey, man, I loved it.
I mean, I've honestly, this has always been one of my favorite tracks. I've wanted to win here so bad, and I've led a bunch of races here in the Cup car, and felt like I was in position or had chances to win this race before, and or to win at this track in general, and I've had a few heartbreakers here, so to finally get it done was sweet, and I can't tell you how it felt. I mean, I honestly got I took the checkered flag and was like, I cannot believe I just won the Southern 500, and the history, the tradition here, to see the Hall of Famers before the race and talk to Cale Yarborough and, all those guys, it's just amazing. And I'm thankful to race here and to get a chance to win here is just icing on the cake. So it was just a special night for me. And, it's definitely one I'll never forget. So it's Coke 600 and the Southern 500 in the same year is pretty awesome.
Standing right, Deb.
Deb Williams racing today. Martin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Kind of continuing in that vein, this sport's original Triple Crown was the Daytona 500, the Coca-Cola 600, and the Southern 500. And if you had finished those inches at Daytona,
Yeah.
you would have been only the third driver ever to win the Triple Crown. Leroy Yarbrough in '69 with Junior Johnson, and David Pearson in '76 with the Wood Brothers. You want to comment on that?
I mean, just to be to be mentioned with those two names is unbelievable enough. So yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. About a foot, about a foot from doing it is incredible. I mean, just there's so many things about this year that have been special, and that's one of them. Thank you for bringing that up and letting me know about it. And to lead the most miles of any NASCAR race ever. I mean, you just think about the names, the names that have been come and gone and paved the way for us drivers. That none of those guys had done that before is unbelievable. And then to mention what you mentioned there. So I'm just humbled. I'm just proud to be in this position to drive for such a great team, and hopefully it's something we can continue to do here. The next 11 races. Thank you.
Additional questions for Martin? Martin?
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations again on the win, and good luck next week in Richmond.
Yep. Thank you.